But now we're spending a lot more time with the clients, making sure we understand their needs, and a lot less time doing paperwork. Right. So we can, and we're able to package better deals together by using the AI.
It's always the same.
Correct.
That doesn't require decision making. An AI agent is really powerful when it comes to decision making. If a decision needs to be made, AI agent. If no decision needs to be made and it's always the same, code. How much time could be saved if you had this sort of software right now in your hands?
I spend about 45 minutes to an hour with each client just discussing pricing. It's so with each client, and at least that's over the loan process. You got to know how to ask a question,
because the answers are out there.
Yeah.
You just gotta know how to ask the question.
Yeah.
And so, the Bible says, ask and you shall receive, right? I think with AI, you could ask just about anything. You can receive just about anything. You just need to know what questions to ask. Welcome to another episode of Pick Up the Phone podcast. I'm your host, Josue Llanas. I'm the founder of GetYou.ai. I have the first emotionally intelligent voice AI for real estate investors and real estate mortgage lenders. It's not artificial intelligence, it's emotional intelligence. Today's guest is Josh Fard. Josh Fard is the owner of FNF Mortgage.
Yes, First Nation Financial Corp.
Or First Nation Financial Corp. And today we're going to be talking a lot about incorporating AI into the mortgage lending brokerage industry. So Josh, thank you for being here, man.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. So, man, why don't we get started by just kind of, we've already done a podcast before.
Yes.
So anyone that's watching, I'll include the show links to the first one. If anyone wants to get to know you and your story, they can go and watch that video. But in this episode, what I really want to talk about is AI in particular, and specifically how people can use AI to incorporate different AI tools into their business and essentially start working a lot more effectively, productively, and faster than ever before.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's everything right now. Everything's moving with AI, in the direction of AI.
Yeah.
Everything we do even as mortgage brokers is completely, the dynamic has changed drastically. In regards to how much time, how much energy, how much stuff can be automated, the amount of time that we need to spend putting a deal together is substantially less than the time we have to actually spend with the client. So that transition has always been the exact opposite. But now we're spending a lot more time with the clients, making sure we understand their needs, and a lot less time doing paperwork. Right. So we can, and we're able to package better deals together by using the AI.
Yeah. And I'm really excited to actually get into it in terms of learning the actual workflows. I think whenever you talk about AI, I think you need to start thinking in terms of workflows, right? And so what I'd like to do in this episode is break down some of the workflows that you're having in your business. And we're already working together, right? So you hired our company. We are building out your Go High Level.
Yes.
So we're building out your Go High Level.
Redoing the whole thing.
Redoing everything from, custom fields to pipeline stages, to different workflows and automations that are built inside of Go High Level.
Yeah.
So I think that all of that's extremely exciting.
And implementing the AI.
And
the
implementing
emotional AI.
Well, implementing emotionally intelligent voice AI. So I think my biggest breakthrough was when I saw that most voice AI sound monotonic.
Yes, horrible.
They sound horrible.
Yeah.
Hello, this is blah, 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 and it's completely monotonic.
It sounds like a computer. It makes you want to shoot yourself.
Yeah, it sounds...
why am I talking to a computer again?
It sounds like a robot. No one wants to talk to a robot. So when I stumbled across some technology that has voice that can materially change or dynamically change its tonality based on the user's emotions, that's when I realized that this is something special.
Yeah.
And I went all in and I developed it, and we have something out for the market that
You're still developing it.
well,
It gets better and better daily.
well, it's already operational. We have about 12 clients right now, and it is pumping appointments like crazy.
Excellent. I am 13.
You are the 13th.
13 is my lucky number. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Good deal. So let's talk about workflows, man. Let's talk about let's start with your business. Would you mind breaking down? And I think this would be really exciting for anyone that's watching this. This is my thought process after building an entire SaaS platform. See, a lot of companies out there, a lot of people that are promoting different AI things are using something called N8N. Okay. And this is something that anyone can go and look up. It's basically glorified workflows, like a glorified kind of Zapier. Are you familiar with Zapier?
No.
I'm
not the tech guy.
Okay.
I come to you.
Absolutely. I got you. So Zapier and N8N is technology that simplifies, or not simplifies, but it's like connectors between different tools that normally wouldn't be able to talk to each other, and they talk to each other based on APIs and webhooks.
Okay.
So think of like what I just said is basically just computer talk, right?
Yeah.
It's just how computers talk.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but in order to get to that point, first you need to understand what part of the business needs to be automated. Okay.
Right.
And then even to go further on that, not only what part of the business needs to be automated, but what part of the business needs to be coded out, and what part of the business can be developed or automated using an AI agent. So a lot of people are like, have you heard of OpenClaw?
Yes, absolutely.
Have you ventured into it at all?
No, we haven't gotten into it.
Okay. I developed my built up my OpenClaw. It's open source. There's a lot of security vulnerabilities with it, a ton. It's so many things that could go wrong with OpenClaw. So I think whenever Claude or Anthropic came out with AI agents that are managed on their servers, they're a lot more safe and secure, also a little bit more expensive.
Which is super important in our line of work. The security is we're dealing with people's private information, right?
Right.
So we have to be very vigilant about security, and we use special high-level encryptions just to be able to take somebody a picture of the driver's license.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that that's super important.
Yeah. So OpenClaw definitely wouldn't work out at all for you.
No. We have to have heavy encryption just to be able to take somebody's driver's license in.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Sounds like a pretty huge deal. So
yeah.
Josh, can you tell me a little bit about your business, man? How does let's break down your business in terms of how leads come to you.
Yeah.
You know, how you operate through them, and then we'll talk about what parts of your business. I know, we're building out your Go High Level. So obviously your marketing, your lead flow, your lead intake, automations with sales are going to be completely automated using Go High Level. And also the voice AI is going to be calling a lot of folks.
Especially follow-up. That's going to be huge with the voice AI.
Yeah. So we'll talk about all that, and then we'll go deeper into it, and then talk a lot about what other parts can be automated, and then I'll talk about what needs to be automated with software versus with an AI agent, and I'll tell you the difference why. Software is, let's say there's a process in your business that is always the exact same way. We take in the file, we fill out this information on this form, we hit submit. Something simple, right?
Yeah.
We
have a lot of that.
You have a lot of that. So those kinds of processes is something that doesn't change. It's always the same. Correct. That doesn't require decision making. An AI agent is really powerful when it comes to decision making. If a decision needs to be made, AI agent. If no decision needs to be made and it's always the same, code.
Yeah.
That should be everyone that's watching at home, that should be kind of like their thought process, right?
Right.
And the reason why is, again, AI agent, expensive, code, nothing.
Yeah.
You do it one time and that's it.
Yeah.
You run it on your server and that's it. And
Right.
you can do it all with Claude Code. You can do it with other tools. There's something called vibe coding. It's a whole ordeal. We'll get into all that. So let's break down your business, bro.
So let's start off with the leads, right?
Okay.
And how do we generate leads and how do we do the intake of each lead, right?
Mm-hmm.
That part of it is really has been the most difficult part, right?
Yeah.
Our old business model when I first started doing loans was, I mean, we would buy leads by the dozen, like just, regular leads, informational leads, like title leads. And we would, just cold call. We had 60 people in the office and everybody was just dialing phone numbers all day long, right? In today's market, it's completely different. First of all, you can't just dial anybody's phone number.
Yeah.
There's so many regulations and restrictions that just don't allow us to get into that. But the main thing for us to generate leads is that we have to reach out to clients, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the clients need to see an advertisement and come to us.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we don't have the ability to call or text or anything like that. They have to have opted in.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what we're doing now is creating any type of on any platform available, creating a funnel for them to be able to, hey, click on this, learn more. This is what I'm interested. Here, this is an area of conversation that I'm interested in. We're going to retarget you based on that, so you can see our ads. And from all different types of platforms, we're bringing in leads. So you can go Facebook, Instagram, Google Ads, YouTube, TikTok. We're everywhere. And all we're doing is going out to people. And on each platform, you have to have a whole other campaign set up that caters to that specific platform's guidelines, right? And to get the best results from each one of those platforms. So it's been a pretty difficult process getting the leads together and then figuring out how to get them into our system, which is where you've come in right now. All of these, imagine having like 5 or 6 different platforms where you're getting information from and you have no home for them all to go to, one solid home so it can lay out leads, for everybody, all the employees and all.
Yeah. I think having that central hub of lead intake is, it's crucial, bro.
Huge.
Not only that, but I think what that adds is the ability to track where leads are coming from.
Yes.
And then you could have different key KPIs. KPIs are key performance indicators. So you want to have key performance indicators because what gets measured starts growing.
Yes.
Right? Where energy goes, what is it? Where focus goes, energy flows. And so you need to focus on the numbers that are working so you can pour more money into that.
Also, it gives you the ability to scale. Like if you don't have all those KPIs, you're not going to know where to, which platform is giving you the best results. So you say to yourself, hey, let me throw another, I don't know, $100 there or another $1,000 there, and let's see how it comes out,
Yeah.
So that's a big part of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have different funnels.
Yeah.
Right? And so the funnels come in, and now they're going to be coming into your Go High Level. We'll have different automations there. One of my favorite automations is speed to lead.
Yes.
So someone fills out a form. Statistically speaking, most people within 5 minutes of filling out a form will forget that they filled out a form.
Yeah. Within
5 minutes. So that means that if you don't call them within those 5 minutes, ideally you want to call them maybe within 2 minutes. We'll test out like calling them between instantly or 2 minutes. I think that'd be kind of like the sweet spot.
Yeah. Also, it depends on the time of day, right?
It depends on time of day. There are TCPA laws. So if I believe TCPA doesn't allow AI calling after 8 p.m.
Yeah.
So if it's after 8 p.m., my software has a global wide blockage that doesn't allow any sort of phone calls after 8 p.m.
For us, the funny thing is that most of our leads come in the evening when guys are doom scrolling the internet, and like women are doom scrolling. They come across our leads and the information, and they're like, oh my god, and that's when we get a lot of our leads.
Okay.
Throughout the day, it doesn't happen too often, but we do get quite a few throughout the day through our Google ads, actually, which is really great.
Yeah,
that's surprising.
Well, I'm pretty sure a simple text could be sent out whenever they fill out a form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
But I don't know if I would send the text after 8.
no,
No,
either way, not
yeah.
even after that. Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, email, definitely email.
Definitely an email
Yeah.
and a follow-up text the following morning.
Sure.
But the technology handles all of that. That's what the best part about it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So all of that can be automated inside of GoHighlevel, and also with getsyou.ai. Let's move on after we get the lead. What happens after that?
So after we get the lead, back to the word speed to lead. We got to make a call. We got to get people on the line, and then we convert them. We find out what their wants are, what their needs are, what they're looking to do, what their focus is. What their 2-year, 3-year, 5-year goals are with that specific asset that they're trying to refinance or purchase or whatever it may be.
Mhm.
So that's our entire focus is let's figure out what the client needs and what the client wants and how we can service them.
Yeah.
Right. So that's phase 2. Right.
Yeah.
From that point, it gets we're doing intake. Right now we're doing a full intake of the client. We have online systems that we use, right, to take applications. We either do one of two things. We either log in and create the account for the client in our system online, and then go through the loan application over the phone with them, or for some of the clients that want to do everything themselves or as much as they can by themselves.
Yeah.
They just go online and do the applications themselves.
Okay.
So they set up their accounts. The one thing we don't do that's very different than most companies is we don't start with a credit pull.
Yeah.
Right. Our pulls are hard pulls, and I don't want our clients having those issues down the line. So we wait until we've received all of their documentation to even run a credit report.
Okay.
Yeah. We want to make sure the client, outside of the credit report, the client's viable, because most people know what their credit is.
Yeah.
Especially, our primary client base are investors, and those investors have a very good grasp.
So normally, who's responsible for collecting the documents right now?
Right now, there's an online system.
Okay.
And our VAs are the ones who are following up to make sure we got all the documents.
Okay.
When it does finally pass over to processing follows up to make sure that they get the documents. So it might be something that, in an updated bank statement or an updated pay stub or whatever it may be, the processing department follows up on those documents.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how are they normally being reached out to? Is it by text? Is it by call?
I mean, we do everything. All right. We're emailing, we're texting, we're calling again, we're texting again, we're emailing again. We're kind of all over the place. And we're relentless. We don't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
But that's the way we get it. It's the same idea of retargeting. And so like if a lead dies, if a lead dies in the phase from a lead to intake, right? We let it sit for a week, 2 weeks, right? And then we retarget that same client over and over and over again until we get to go away.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you convert them.
Yeah. Or we convert them.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So the document collection process seems like, do you feel like that process could be automated maybe with an AI agent?
It is possible. It is possible. Human nature is an issue, right? Because a lot of the clients say, "Hey, I sent that in. And like, guys, I don't have it. We gotta.
Yeah.
Here's a copy of your file. You have a copy. We have a link to your drive, the whole 9.
Yeah.
Just take a look at it. Look at the system. You didn't upload that document.
Right.
And then they're like, "Oh, I want to email it to you." And a lot of the times, I'm very hesitant to even take an email. I was like, "Look, I really want you to stick to the format so everything can be secure. If you email it to me, I'm still gonna upload it to that system."
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so I mean, it kind of sounds like it could be automated either way.
I think it could be. The intake process could be automated, but the user needs to be, the borrower, the user needs to be compliant, right?
Compliant
in the sense that they're willing to do that, willing to use the system. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But the AI can do the follow-up.
Yeah.
Can most definitely do the follow-up.
Okay. I mean, man, you'd be surprised. Like, sometimes I try to trip up the AI, and I end up being the one that gets tripped up by the AI. It is powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, it just stays on track always. It doesn't veer off the goal. It knows how to handle objections extremely effectively. I mean, you can try to throw a curveball at it and say just something completely outlandish, and it'll like say something like brushing it off, and then ask you a question.
Yeah,
You're
it
like,
shoots right back in.
and then you're like, wait, what happened? The programming on these AI agents are pretty powerful.
It's removing the sales out of the salesperson.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So maybe like a document collection agent could even be incorporated there.
Yeah. You know, some sort of, the good thing about the software is that even if I'm not calling the client every day, it's updating them on what's going on.
Yeah.
They got an idea of what we're looking at, what we're doing, how it's working, all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me break down a little bit real quick before we start going into like different AI agents that you can build.
Yeah.
What needs to happen here is go high level software, right? So it's an infrastructure already that's completely been built out. But when you're talking about something like creating AI agents, these AI agents need to be kicked off by us, call it an event. So when a person submits a form and then they go through that process, and then who calls them? Is it you? Is it someone else on your team?
It's either I'm calling them. Generally, it's the VAs are the ones making the initial phone call and setting up an appointment, making sure they get like the basic needs done, the basic questions done, so that when we get on the call, when I get on a call, right, we're out there trying to find solutions to the issue at hand.
Yeah.
Right. Whatever the mortgage problem could be, whether it's, my interest rate is too high, I need some cash out, I want to buy another property, whatever it is, our entire focus is to find a solution for the problem that we already know exists.
Yeah.
Right. So that the process can be much more streamlined and faster. But it takes a lot of, I don't want to say massaging, but it takes a lot. You need to understand the landscape of the lending business to be able to place a loan correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Right. A lot of the times, 90% of the times, the loan does not fit into the box. Okay. 90% of the loans that come to us, I should say.
Yeah.
All right. Are not loans that fit in the box. It's people who've gotten rejected from like regular investment banks, or they've gotten rejected from, Rocket Mortgage, and they couldn't put it together. I mean, we've done deals, we've done loans where, it went through the Rocket underwriting system, which is pretty much, it kind of handles itself. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's come back to us, and we've sold the loan, we've underwritten the loan ourselves, and then presented it to Rocket Mortgage, and the loan's been approved.
Got it.
Right. So some of the stuff is, a lot of that portion of it cannot be automated. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of it can.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I know you're not very technical, but I think I think it'd be really important for you to at least have a surface level understanding of how things will work. So the way that I see it is, let's say it is go high level, right? This is where your lead is. And you've seen already the different stages in you grab and drop a contact, and first it's a new lead, then it's lead intake,
follow up,
all of those, right?
Ones, yeah.
Okay. So let's say there's one that let's call it maybe a document collection stage, right? We can do some sort of automation that says if a lead is in the document collection stage for more than a day, kick off this automation. It'll fire a webhook that'll send to getsyou.ai that will call the lead and say, hey, it's been a day. We were trying to collect your documents. Is there anything holding you back from you submitting the documents into the portal?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And then after the call, what happens is after the call, it takes all these notes and it saves it inside of the platform, inside of getsyou.ai, and it sends it via API back to Go High Level. So then in your contact, you're going to have all of the information on the right side.
The whole log of everything that's happened is going to be
the transcription.
Oh, wow.
The summary, the action items, the next steps, everything's going to be right there on the right side. And it'll give you and anyone else that's using Go High Level a full kind of bird's eye view of that contact just by looking at that note section. Everything that's happening. And then obviously the goal is that the person now goes and submits their documents And then we could have another automation if 3 days has, pass by and they still don't upload the documents, kick off the automation again, send the webhook, call the person.
What we should do is try to figure out how we can make this, because our intake form is that all the documents go to. Somehow maybe the AI can speak with that and be like, yo, hey, these are the 5 things that you're missing. You got the other 8 in, but you have 5 more that you got to get in for us.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
and then one of the other things that I think we need to actually add to it is because the different types of loans have different documentations that is needed for each one. Right.
Yeah.
So one, you'll need a W-2 pay stub and tax returns. Another one, you're going to need just a lease agreement and, credit report and a couple other things for the DSCR loans, which are fantastic and easy.
Right.
And they don't care about your tax returns. They care about your credit score and the property's income.
Yeah.
Right. Which is great. It's helping out a lot of investors. And then what we can do is, kind of use that information, and to have them, or at least use the systems to speak to each other so the AI can say, well, I know what's missing. You got to send me these things. Right. Don't forget.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the beautiful thing when you're using AI is that you can have different stages in the lead cycle, and have agents that are responsible for their particular stage in the life cycle of that client. And then each one is supposed to communicate with the next agent. So the lead intake agent will take all the information and then communicate that over to the document collection agent that's going to say, okay, well, we're missing this, and that, send it to the next person, so that the next agent has full context as far as where that lead is in terms of documentation. Have they filled out the form? Have they filled out the application, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So communication between agents is extremely possible. And that's something that just needs to be coded in.
Absolutely. Yeah. Even with what's going on, like we're doing less volume of loans right now, but higher dollar amounts is what we're seeing. And the client databases are a mess, right? Overall, when it comes to the higher volume, we're able to keep our databases intact because we're doing high dollar volume, but we're not doing high volume loans. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big part of it for us because we're still now we're just like 10 agents, but we're hoping with this, implementing the AI and setting up our infrastructure, which is what we're discussing right now, that we could pick up another 5 to 10 agents before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our focus.
Nice. That's a great goal.
Need more MLOs.
Absolutely. Okay, so we spoke a little bit about lead intake, document collection. What happens afterwards? Before you do, before I forget, we do have to take a quick commercial break to hear from our sponsors.
All right.
Cool. If you're a real estate investor in Houston, Texas, you need to listen up. Andrew Fott with Renovo is the #1 lender with DSCR 30-year fixed loans. He can do 1 to 4 family. He can do 5 units plus. He can do commercial, anything you need. Andrew Fott is your #1 source for long-term financing. Right now, his current rates are high 5s to low 6s. He's got a 1 to 2 points in origination, and he can fund up to 75% loan to value, so he can refinance you, cash you out right out of that hard money loan that you have, no problems. And he's a direct lender, which means that you don't have to go through any AMC BS, right? So what that means is they have an in-house appraiser. No need to chase an appraiser to figure out how they do business. Renovo has it all in-house. They also have a in-house servicing company. So anytime you need any help with tax forms, any help with servicing your loan, Andrew is one phone call or email away to help you out. I'm a testament of this. He has one of my long-term notes, and it's always smooth as pie to get any sort of documents that I need. So Andrew's a relationship-based lender, meaning that if you're trying to figure out something with your loan, he can help you through it, guide you through it, and set you up for success. So if you're interested in a 30-year fixed rate loan, hit up my boy Andrew Fott with Renovo. His phone number is 210-425-2190. If you're a wholesaler in Houston, Texas, Casey Sullivan is the #1 guy to getting your deal sold in as little as 3 days. So Case and Sullivan works for the number one buyer in all of Houston. This is called New Western. It's a massive operation. They have 20 to 30 dispo agents working around the clock to sell your deal as soon as you get it. All you need to do is, if you have your deal, call up Kaysen. If you give him just 2 to 3 days, if you give him property access, he can get you any number on any deal. They have a full closing team, so you don't have to worry about escrow, transaction coordination, any legal. And that gives you less time selling the property and more time to source your own deals. And that's how you scale your company. Casey Sullivan closed 72 deals last year, so you know that this guy is the real deal and an actual operator. You can reach out to Kaysen at 409-527-1115. If you're a real estate investor in Texas, Natalie Basak with Black Label Title is the number one title company for real estate investors. Here's why. Natalie can pull free instant property reports for existing clients that show liens, nearby foreclosures, any delinquent taxes. This is so that investors can do their due diligence before going under contract. I'm sure she could even help you out if you need to do some sort of due diligence. If you're going to go buy at the auction, Natalie Basak is the number one person for you. They are backed by multiple underwriters, so they have different people that can make sure that your deal gets closed. And I think what's really cool about them is that they do pass through A to B closings. This means that you don't need transactional funding. This alone saves you several $1,000s on every closing that you do. That is a double closing. So that means that you can use the B to C transaction to be able to fund the A to B, no transactional funding needed. They're familiar with all investor transactions from assignments, double closes, novations, sub-twos, wraps, anything that's creative. Reach out to Natalie Basak. Her phone number is 936-442-8486. Natalie Basak with Black Label Title. All right, so I want to hear about the next step in the process, the lead intake, document collection.
Yeah.
What is the next step? Loan application?
Lead intake, document collection. No, the application comes with the doc collection, right?
Okay.
So it's processing. That it goes off to our in-house processing team.
Is that like an underwriter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our underwriters, in-house processing, it goes off to them, and then from there, they are the ones who load every loan into our official the system. We use a system called Encompass. We have to use that because we do, or some of the loans that we do are a little bit more integrated, and it requires an elevated platform to be able to use it. There's deficiencies in the other ones that make it impossible to use for commercial use, right? Okay. So we do a lot of commercial loans as well. So so we go into the loan application process, right? Mm-hmm. And then the loan submission. That's what I call that. The underwriting and loan submission. That's the next step, right? That needs to be reviewed by a pro, right? To understand what's going on, what the paperwork is, calculate the income correctly, make sure it jives with what the lender would calculate it for, whether we're doing a full documentation loan, 12-month bank statement loan, or just calculating 1099s and expenses, Schedule C, check where the depreciation is, all this fun stuff that goes on in the processing.
Yeah.
Cannot be done without an eye, right?
Yeah.
So you have to pull tax transcripts and stuff like that to be able to make it work, but even then it doesn't work. Yeah. Right.
So is this the part that you're responsible for primarily?
This is where I do most of the work.
Yeah.
Right. This is where I start off with the initial client, the client conversation and the solution session.
Yeah.
Right. Figuring out that needs meeting, and then this is where I come in. This is probably one of the most difficult parts of doing a loan.
Yeah.
Getting the lead is tough to set it up, but once the leads are in, that's kind of the you find out the client, you know what they need, you get the paperwork together. But presenting the right paperwork to the lender for each loan is extremely difficult. There's some lenders that, for example, on a full doc loan, you don't need to send the tax returns, right? They just want W-2s. Well, if you're just doing W-2s, then you don't even want to have the tax returns in the file.
Yeah.
Right? Because all it's going to do is ruin your loan. Right? So you pull the tax returns out of the file and you just submit without. and the lender's not asking for anything else. That's what they want, and that's what we're giving them. Exactly what we're giving them.
You lost me.
Okay, so there's certain items that the reason the processing needs to be done by hand, right? And it's not something that we could sub out, is because some of the items that are supposed to be submitted with a loan, right? There's some items that are supposed to be submitted with a loan, depending on the different loan type, right? And then there are documents that you're just not supposed to send in.
Okay.
Generally speaking, when you're doing a fully documented loan, right, they're asking for pay stubs, W-2s, year-end pay stubs, tax returns, right, 1099 forms, whatever it may be, K-1s that come to your personal, right, from other entities that you own. But sometimes the lender doesn't want all of those documents.
Okay.
They only want the W-2 and the pay stubs.
Yeah.
So we only send the W-2 and the pay stubs.
Even though you have everything else.
The guideline for that one specifically is designed for the guy who makes money, but he hasn't filed tax returns in 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what that loan program is designed for. So the processor needs to sit and be the person, along with me, that makes that determination and submits that specific loan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that I guess this is kind of like where the loan broker part comes in, right?
Right.
It's kind of dictating, all right, we have this information from the client, but we're not going to just take all that information raw and just like submit it to every single lender out there.
Correct.
You're going to pick and choose what files you need.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes. And that's where the automation falls apart. Because the automation can't decide. The automation you could code it. I think you could put it together to make the right decision. If this, then that, right? That type of scenario. But I don't think it's going to allow you, I don't think it's going to give you the ability to, that one's going to be a very, very tough build.
I think that with enough data, it can be built. Meaning with enough scenarios, right?
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say that it's once you build it, you can just set it and forget it. I think more importantly, what you need to understand about working with AI is that AI just makes things faster. And so because it makes things faster, it surfaces problems faster. And so a lot of things can start breaking even quicker, which in my opinion, I see that as a good thing, right? Let me start breaking things apart faster so I can fix them and then get to a point where I'm constantly now improving now what I've built so I can get better and better and better over time.
Yeah.
And not even just better, but whenever, so I have, my SaaS platform, I look at the reliability of the platform, right?
Right.
And so the goal is to every day have my percentage of reliability just go up higher and higher, from 90, 95%, 99% is really the goal that you always want to be at. And even most softwares out there never claim 100% reliability because inherently code has issues. Yeah. It has bugs. It has things that are breaking on in the back end or different things that are firing off that can break.
But in theory, isn't it supposed to get to a point where it's perfect?
I think that even AI, even AI makes mistakes. Most AI platforms right now, whenever you log on, at the very bottom, it'll have a disclosure. This is AI and AI can make mistakes. Don't take it as face value. Don't believe it 100%.
But the whole idea is that it's constantly learning, right? And it's constantly building itself up and higher and better.
Yeah.
Right? just like a human.
Right. But that would the claim to that would be that humans are perfect then too, right?
I am absolutely perfect. I don't know about everybody else.
But
that aside,
we cannot all be Josh Fard.
We cannot. Yeah. My wife seems to love it and hate it at the same time, but we can't all be Josh Fard.
Yeah. If your wife loves it and hates it at the same time, does not sound like perfection. The truth comes out. So inherently, there's going to be issues in code, and so the goal is always to just continuously improve the process to make it more effective, more efficient. What happens after this decision-making tree of finding out who to submit the loan to?
So here's another part of that makes it a little bit difficult to automate, right? Is different lenders have different guidelines, different programs. For example, one of the lenders we work with, when we're doing a short-term rental, doesn't require for you to have short-term rental history on the property to be able to fund the loan, right? They need a short-term rental survey that'll show that the property will be able to make that much rent, right? This is just one example. So one says this, the other says that. Well, you can't qualify on this one, right? But you can qualify on this one. So what are you going to do? You're going to submit the loan to the right lender, the one on the right, not the one on the left, because that one's guidelines are more lax. The problem is, okay, for each lender with shifting guidelines, to be able to have a system that decides which lender you send it to for you, you'd have to be constantly, every time there's a guideline change, uploading new conditions. You have to have an entire team of, software engineers just to be able to upload that information all the time.
Why is it so complex to get that information?
Because it's constantly changing, right? Constantly
where
changing.
Where do you normally get that information from?
From the lenders. They give us their guidelines.
And how does the lender send you the guidelines?
So they have them posted online. Okay.
Easy.
Some.
Okay, some.
Have them post them online. Others that do not.
Email.
They can email you copies of the guidelines.
Okay.
However, guidelines, understanding guidelines and how to work around the requirements or lack of requirements is what makes it possible for you to get deals done. You really have to know what's going on there, and the AI can figure it out for you, right? But the AI can't submit the loan to all of those lenders unless you have, Josue, developed a system, right? Which will make you a billionaire, my friend. But if you could develop a system that it goes to mortgage lenders, mortgage brokers, right? Hard money lenders, hard money brokers, right? It'll tell you exactly which investor will take your loan and exactly which lender has the right guidelines for it. Now, this is a system that you have to have that uploads guidelines from all of the different lenders all of the time. And we have thousands of lenders across the country, right? And then there's different applications. Well, there's different guidelines for residential than there are for commercial, than there is for multifamily, than there is for industrial, than there is for retail, right? So all of these different ideas that office, right? There's so many different guidelines, and half the time the lenders don't understand the guidelines. Even the lender reps don't understand the guidelines. Yeah. And every once in a while there's a contradicting guideline. It's a little difficult.
Yeah.
It's not impossible.
It doesn't sound impossible, but it definitely sounds like a big challenge for sure.
It is a huge challenge.
I think the biggest problem comes down to data, because once you have the data, then you can program AI to do just about anything.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you have the right set of information from all the different lenders, then you can just take it into a decision matrix and say, if this, then that.
Yeah.
On all these different lenders. I don't think that's the hard part. The hard part is sourcing all the data consistently from each lender.
Yeah.
And I think evidently, some lenders don't make it easy to gather the data to put it into your software. Then that's where kind of the chain breaks. Yeah, but it's definitely still doable.
I kind of feel like we're getting ready to develop a different type of loan processing software here.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
I think that the next idea was just born here.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, another thing that I've realized, Josh, is with AI, you can build out just about anything that you can dream of. Just about anything. And I truly say that not with a grain of salt, but like understanding it and using it and creating things. For example, I've created a loan matching system. So I have another broker that I know, and he came to me and he said, "Hey, listen, I have all of these different lenders that I'm using,
right? And
I would like to spit out it's a hard money lender. So I would like to spit out a PDF that has the best terms for that borrower without me having to go and submit all of this information into a bunch of different lenders. I have the matrices of all of the different, let's call it just 10 different lenders.
Yeah.
And it's the term sheet, right? I wanted to print out a term sheet for that borrower with the best terms out in the marketplace right now, using all of the information from these 10 different lenders. He's gathering the information from each lender, and then I created a dashboard, and I think I coded it using Python, or was it Python or TypeScript? I'm not sure.
Let's develop this for me as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we could do that.
I mean, the guidelines are a little bit crazier, but still, we can definitely do it.
It's a loan matching system, right? And so it's meant not to fully. It's not like a full application that you're sending to the lender. It's basically, we reverse engineered it, and the lender said, these are our terms. If you have a FICO score of this amount and you have a income of this amount and blah 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 blah,
these are the guidelines,
and these are the guidelines, right? And it's a matrix, and it's a lot of different information.
Yeah.
And now we get this borrower. The borrower fills out an application on my loan matching system that I created. It'll instantly compare it across the 10 lenders based on their specific situation and bust out a term sheet. It'll give you the top 3 lenders based on the rate and terms and blah 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 of each different lender. And then you press a button, it'll spit out a term sheet immediately, and then that's something that hard money lender can send to that borrower to say, boom, here you go.
You can do it on his cell phone.
You can do it on a cell phone too. You can do it on a cell phone. You can print it out, send the PDF right from his phone. So
I want to develop that with you for my business.
We can do it.
Yeah. We'll get through the go high level, and then we'll start that too.
Yeah.
We got a lot to do.
It's a loan matching system. And so
we're kind of falling into a place where we're getting all kinds of new technologies for our friends over at First Nation.
Yeah.
We're going to make something nice happen here.
So that saves a lot of time for them, right? Because in the past, it was mainly a senior loan officer that had to go through the whole process.
So by the way, our biggest issue and when we're pricing out loans is the pricing engines all suck, right?
Yeah.
So this if I could upload like rate sheets on a regular basis, or have the system go in and pull the information and the rate sheets from each one of the lenders individually,
yeah,
I could have constantly not have to do anything except for hit a few buttons on my phone, and I could price out deals left and right.
How much time could be saved if you had this sort of software right now in your hands?
I spent about 45 minutes to an hour with each client just discussing pricing. It's so with each client, and at least that's over the loan process. So we visited 2 to 3 times pricing before we actually finally lock a rate. Mm-hmm. Because markets are always shifting up and down.
Yeah, exactly.
When rates drop, we want to wait just in case the rates drop. Like for example, right now, if the ceasefire in the Middle East holds, right, the rates are going to drop even further.
Right.
And we're going to be able to lock a rate for my client, maybe 0.5% less than what we got last month that we did a loan for.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
On each client. So, and then how many clients are you normally helping out in a month?
40, 50, something like that.
So something like 50 hours could be saved minimum.
At least one week of work.
1 week, entire week of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And based on your current income, that's a lot of money that can be saved. Yeah. Times 12.
We're going back to the time value calculation from the last podcast. That's what's happening. Yeah.
It's just the way my brain works here.
Always time value of money.
Time value of money is so important, right? I think important. If you and so back to what I was originally saying with AI, it's not what you can build. Is this the right thing that I need to be building right now? That's where the question now for me is changing in terms of, man, dude, I have these conversations with people all day long, Josh. This is the first time that we're doing it here on camera and talking specifically about AI.
This is our dinner spitball.
But I'm having a conversation like this with people every day, and people are like, man, can you do this? And I go and look it up, and I can do it. Well, can you do this? Blah, blah, blah. I go and look it up, I can do it. And so literally nothing's off the table. And so the problem then becomes not can I build it, but does it make sense for me, for my vision, for what we're trying to accomplish together, right? That has been the most difficult thing to shift my focus from can I build it to this. Does this make sense right now?
Does it make sense for, I got a lot to do. Can I afford the time to do this?
Yeah. And so I think it makes me look at time differently now, right? And I think we're even having a conversation about even dinner tonight, man. I'm like every waking minute that I have, like I want to just be developing something that fits into my vision of what I want the future to be, right?
Well, that's what the true definition of insanity in an entrepreneur is.
I think I'm insane.
Okay, go for it. That's what's gonna do it. That's the right way to look at it.
Very crazy.
When we first started out, how many hours a day were you working?
Yeah.
I would show up when I first started working. I would show up before anybody, and I would leave after everybody. They were like kicking me out of the office.
Yeah,
but that's what I did when I wanted to make money.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah, more time in the office means more dollars in my pocket.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think that it is time to shift a little bit of gears here and start talking more about implementation, because we're talking a little bit about, kind of systems, processes. But I think let's talk about how people could actually implement it into their business today. But before we do that, let's take another quick commercial break, Josh.
All right.
Guys, if you're doing business in Houston and you don't have a great title company, I highly recommend you guys to use Natalie Murillo with Black Label Title. They were awarded the best title company in 2026 by Houston Latino Magazine. But I think what's truly impactful of working with Natalie is that her title company can do pass-through funding for A to B closings. If you're an investor, this is very important to you, because it means that you don't need to have your own funds to be able to finance an A to B closing on a double close. You can use the funds from the C to B to fund A to B transaction. If you don't understand what that means, reach out to Natalie. She can explain it all to you. More importantly, you can make a very big assignment fee without your buyer or your seller finding out what that fee is. So it's a great opportunity to get with a investor-friendly title company. They also do blind HUDs, assignments, novations, subject to wraps. And so they close in all Texas counties, right? So they can do e-signing. You don't even have to have a closing in the title company, right? They do CE classes. Listen, guys, if you're wholesaling or you're investing in Texas, you need to call Natalie Murillo with Black Label Title. And the link for Natalie is going to be in the show notes. So the number for Natalie Murillo is 936-442-8486. Make sure you mention Josue Llanas with Pick Up the Phone podcast. If you're a real estate investor anywhere in the United States, you need to listen up. GetHardMoney.com is a free platform for real estate investors. You can find local hard money, connect with the lender directly, request term sheets, and chat all in one single place. What I really like about the website is that they have free tools. They have built-in AI comping. They have flip property calculators. They have cash to close calculators. Everything's 100% free. You don't even need to sign up to be able to use their calculators, which I find extremely useful whenever I'm running numbers on a property. So it's going to be free all the time, no cost ever. So if you're investing and you need a lender connections or you need deal analysis tools, it's a no-brainer, right? It's a no-brainer sign up. So the way to sign up is you go to gethardmoney.com, and the link is going to be in the show notes. If you're a nationwide real estate investor, you need to go check out gethardmoney.com. GetHardMoney.com is the number one place to find local hard money lenders. You can connect with them directly. You can request term sheets. You can chat all in one single place. The coolest thing that I think about GetHardMoney.com is that you have free tools built in, AI comping. You have a flip profit calculator, cash to close calculator. What's really cool about it also is that it's 100% free. You don't have to go and buy anything. You can sign up. You can use all the tools that they have. They have tools added there all the time. No cost ever. So if you're investing and you need lender connections, this site works nationwide. If you need deal analysis, this thing is a no-brainer. There's no cost to sign up. It's just free value, free connections to any real estate lender out there. So go sign up, gethardmoney.com. All right, and we are back, Josh. So we were talking about implementation, but I just realized we just spoke about implementation.
That's all we talked about.
20 minutes. So anyone that's watching this, go back in 20 minutes and watch everything about implementation. I think, one what's really interesting would be to talk about the future of AI.
Yeah.
Where do you see the future of AI?
Specific to my industry, I think AI is gonna kind of take everything over.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna remove me as a service provider.
Yeah.
There's gonna be much fewer opportunities to have brokers available to massage deals and stuff like that. I just think guidelines are going to change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what I see is a lot of layoffs. That's how I think. That's how I think it's going to affect the industry.
Yeah.
You know, lenders develop guideline AI systems to handle underwriting. Lenders develop AI systems to be able to, do the creative intake, right? There's so many different ways that technology could take over.
And obviously,
you're make us obsolete.
You're talking right now, maybe like, maybe what, 5 years down the line, 10 years.
I mean, like, being generous, I give 20. Like, it's like the maximum. I just can't. It's not only growing, its intelligence is growing at an exponential rate.
I think the biggest problem is bureaucracy. There's all these, just like in realtors, right? There's like MLS boards.
Right.
I'm sure there are some sort of governing bodies for mortgage lenders as well.
Yeah, of course. We have a lot of regulations.
And so, but the governing bodies normally have a lot of say when it comes to policies that are being developed and policies and laws that are being written in Congress. And so wouldn't these folks maybe develop some sort of law that prevents underwriters and prevents loan brokers from becoming obsolete?
Yeah, it's possible. But I think as the technology grows, the industries gets stronger, right?
Yeah.
And no matter what you do, it's going to pull people out of the industry.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't going to be able to do what the AI can do. Right. I can't do what the technology does.
Yeah.
I'm very good at what I do, and I can't do what the technology does.
Yeah. So we're talking about just like sometime in the future. I mean, there's no way of predicting like when it's going to happen.
No, I don't think so. But I could say this, that, it's not only this industry. Mm-hmm. It's across all industries. Yeah. Take farming or home building or we're here in Texas, oil and gas pipelines. When you look at these different industries, there's nothing that's happening there that, for example, AI can't take care of, or like we were discussing earlier, an AI robot can't take care of.
Yeah.
All right. That's a huge deal. I mean, that's going to take a lot of people out of the workforce.
Right. If you could remove a human being from being in an environment that could be dangerous, then why would companies not do that? Right.
Look, as a whole, employees are liabilities.
Right.
Right. You could be working in an office,
mm-hmm.
or you can be working on an oil field. Right.
Right.
You are a liability to the owner of the company. However, okay, that liability, there's a risk reward, process that you go through, and you take the risk of having that person as a liability versus the amount of money that they can make you by being in that position that you hired them to do. Right. So when you weigh these things against each other, you say, oh, okay, well, what if I could just remove the risk? Well, in industries where people, they're very dangerous places to work. Right. If I could get an AI powered robot to do the job that, I don't know, an oil field manager does, right? Or a technician does, right? And not have the risk of him dying on the job site and then having to get the insurance claim put in, and then my insurance costs go up and all of these different things. If I could put a third-party agent in there that has zero liability or substantially lower liability, why would I not do that as a business owner?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mitigate my risk.
Right. Yeah. I think inherently people are just going to, eventually move to using AI for just about anything. Even, like there's a lot of talks in terms of what are the safest jobs out there.
Right.
Something like plumbing, electricians, HVAC technicians. And I agree. And I think those jobs are going to stick around for a long, long time.
Yeah.
But what happens, like 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the line when Tesla has these walking robots just walking around,
Imagine just go as simple as cleaning your house.
Yeah.
If you could have a robot clean your windows, wouldn't you rather do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think then we shift into, well, what are human beings going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I imagine, like I just told you, this movie Idiocracy is one of the funniest movies I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it like puts this like glazing, like beam right on human existence and how technology could ruin our lives and make us just gone from being a productive, driven society to just being a bunch of idiots waiting for the government to send us our check and our food vouchers.
Yeah.
Right. It's ridiculous.
Hopefully it doesn't get that. Hopefully it doesn't get there. We're able to manage. I think, as time goes on, we don't know what the future holds either. And I think that we don't know how we're going to evolve with AI as AI is getting smarter and we're learning how to work with AI. I think that we're going to shift our perspectives also on a lot of things. And so, I don't know. I just think that like the future is completely unimaginable right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's too many moving factors. And I was even listening to another podcast earlier, the Coffee Hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I think their guest was talking about AI. And one of the main things that they said was right now there's a lot of market volatility. We have like wild market swings going up, points and going down. And it's completely volatile. There's no predicting it.
Every industry.
Yeah. S&P 500 is going up and down every day. And so, not every day, but
a new high right now.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's a new low.
Yeah.
Several next days. So what's happening is that everyone's trying to predict what's going to happen, but there's no way to predict the future here.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way. There's so many unknown variables that I think that for me, I'm just so excited for the new generation of people that are going to come in and just clean up house, man. And I'm planning on being one of them.
We're all praying.
Yeah. So in terms of being able to
just make sure you invite me on that, big 50th birthday. I want to be there.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
I think the most important thing is just being able to find problems, finding the biggest problems that you can find, and then creating a solution with AI. I think that is the future is held in the people that solve the biggest problems.
Well, let's talk about those robots again, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, think about it. How crazy is that? There's going to be a robot that can do everything you can do. Right?
That's pretty nuts, yeah.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
What can the robot not do? Right? Just you as a man. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what, you can't think critically? Of course you can. That's what the AI is designed for.
Right.
Right? You can do anything. From washing your car to driving you around town to building.
Well, I think what's going to be more important then is like things like art, and creativity, right?
Yeah.
Human design, things that bring out the human spirit. I think those things are going to be extremely valuable.
I could see that. Yeah. Yeah.
What makes us human?
I mean, we bleed.
Yeah, that's one thing.
I think that's what it is. I think it's that we bleed because all our human traits are being taken up by artificial intelligence, dude.
We're definitely going to be bleeding.
Yeah, that's the only thing we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, even surgery doctors are going to go out. The surgeons are going to be gone because the robot could be more precise.
Yeah, eventually, I think that, and this is something that I realized when just like working with AI back and forth, man. Just I've spent a lot of time working with AI, and one of the biggest epiphany moments that I had was that I learned that the future is held in the people that know how to prompt the best.
Okay. Yes, I agree with that. You got to know how to ask a question.
Because the answers are out there.
Yeah.
You just got to know how to ask the question.
Yeah.
And so, the Bible says, ask and you shall receive, right? I think with AI, you could ask just about anything. You can receive just about anything. You just need to know what questions to ask.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's where we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna know which questions to ask.
Yeah.
I think that's what the difference is gonna be.
And so critically thinking right now is the right time to get ahead, so that people that are watching this, listening to this, can take advantage by taking the time to talk to AI and then figuring out what problems they can solve, and figure out what solutions can be done right now. And I want to talk and actually like bring value to anyone that's watching this,
Yeah.
because I think it's important to learn how to actually work with AI. So there's a lot of different AIs, right? There is OpenAI, there's Anthropic, which is Claude, Perplexity, there's Manus Pro, and I'll tell you a little bit about what I use each one for, right? OpenAI is really good at creating infrastructure, right? Okay. And so I use some of their tools to do that. Anthropic is really good for actually writing code, and so they have so many different platforms out there, different service models that they've come out with. They even just came out with something called Claude Design, that basically, you know what Canva is?
Yeah.
Well, Claude Design now basically makes Canva obsolete.
Oh wow.
You can
so just put this over here and do that over there.
You can create an entire design brand with Claude Design and choose your colors, see them on screen, prompt back and forth, and then you have the whole design of something. If you want to create a graphic, you want to create a flyer, a banner, create anything, Claude Design, boom. What's cool about it?
Can you automate it to constantly be creating new ones on like a weekly basis?
Or you can, but you would use an actual AI agent for that. But I haven't tried plugging it into the Claude Design. Normally I just have actually like just Claude make actual graphics for me, and I mean it makes some fantastic graphics.
Yeah.
Pitch decks, presentations, graphics, creatives, anything. Yeah. And then what I do is I tied in my Claude code with different APIs. That I think there's one called FAL, fal.ai, and it's a video generator that can create creatives for you completely automated.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then you can have something called a cron job, a cron, CRON. A cron job is like an automation that says at 3 p.m. every day, turn on. That's all a cron is.
Okay.
Why it's useful is that if at every day you say, hey, at 3 p.m. every day, trigger that cron job to start the automation to create a new creative for our team. So then cron job turns on, boom, it does the API call, calls fal.ai, it creates a graphic, it sends it back over to you, and now you have a nice creative on your dashboard.
I need this.
All completely automated.
I need this. I absolutely need this.
We all do, Josh.
Yeah. That's the one I need more than anything right now.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah, like absolutely. The system will do it automatically for a lot of our informational posts.
Yeah.
We'll just, update, hey, here's some information, make a creative for this.
Yeah.
Right? And then we can take that and put it on our Instagram or wherever it is that we're posting it.
Yeah.
That's huge for us.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time saving.
There's so many, you can do anything with AI. It's just like, what is the most important thing that I have to focus on right now? That's a question you should always be asking yourself, is what part of my business needs to be automated? Which part of the business needs to be automated right now, right? Mm-hmm. What are the, maybe create a list and then just write down a list and then look at the list and say 1, 2, 3 right here. That's it. Let's focus on that right now.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, how everyone should be working on things. I think, if you look at some of the most successful athletes out there, it's because they learn how to prioritize.
Yeah.
And so that's one lesson that I've taken to focus on the right things today. Anyway, so Claude Code, okay, that's what I use in Anthropic. Perplexity is fantastic for doing research. It is incredible for doing research. It can go online and find out just about any medically peer-reviewed journals, factual information. So when it comes, if you ever think I need to know the facts about this topic, about topic XYZ, Perplexity.
Okay.
Incredible. when I was developing this emotionally intelligent voice AI, and the reason why I say it's the first one is because there are emotionally intelligent, there is emotionally intelligent AIs out there, but nothing that's specifically designed together as a package for real estate, for the real estate industry.
Mm-hmm.
Every single voice AI out there is advertised as just voice AI. And so, there's no one else out there. When I started doing the research, and this is back in February, what was it? No, January 30th, 2026. I looked at all the, because I was already working with voice AI for a while, but then when I found this, and I was like, all right, January 30th, 2026, no one else is out advertising this. I went to work, we developed it, we have it on market, and so that's why I say it's the first voice AI for real estate, for the real estate industry. First emotionally intelligent voice AI for the real estate industry. Perplexity is the one that, and I asked all of them, Gemini, OpenAI.
But that's the one that gave you all the information, the real information.
The one that I would call factual, and I mean, it makes mistakes too, but after I cross-referenced them with every, with most, not, I don't want to say every, because there's so many LLMs out there now, like, Google even has like something called Gemma 4, there's something called Quen, there's something called Kimi. So the owners of, I believe, Alibaba, created their own large language model, which large language model basically is your OpenAI, your ChatGPT, your Claude. That's an LLM.
Okay.
It's a large language model. I think the owners of Alibaba created this LLM that runs locally on a computer. What that means is that if you've ever used Claude for an extended amount of time, you run out of usage, and then you have to pay $20 a month.
Yeah.
So these guys created your own LLM that can run on your desktop, on your computer, on your machine, whatever it is. And you don't have to pay any tokens. You don't have to pay anything.
That's nice.
The only thing you pay is for the electricity.
Right.
So now the cost goes down significantly. Now you can just spin up agents to do just about anything. Right.
But you have to have the hardware to be able to handle it. But if you do, the computer just stays on and it just keeps rolling.
Then it just goes back to having an initial large investment, and then boom, now you have all of the computing power that you need to run just about anything in your business. Right.
And it's not out on the internet then.
No, it's not.
It's really just
it's
doing
locally.
it on its own. Yeah, it's all local.
Yeah. So it's faster too.
Yeah.
It's faster, your server's on your computer, and you can serve clients a lot more efficiently. Anyway, so those are some of the, let me talk about Manus. Manus Pro is really great at transcribing videos. So what I do is I entered YouTube videos into Manus, and I ask it to transcribe it and then give me some insights on it. Mm-hmm. And so if I ever, let's say I have someone like Alex Hermosi, or what's another, what's another, someone else that you look up to on YouTube?
Well, me and myself, I really, it's all about me.
Yeah,
but no, generally, yeah. I don't know. Other
large, Tony Robbins. I
like Tony Robbins quite a bit. I like I like Kevin O'Leary. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah, so you can go and look at their YouTube channels, and then just basically transcribe just about any videos, get their insights without having to watch an hour-long video.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but I use it to create SEO for my own YouTube videos, actually for the podcast. I create it all with AI. I create the SEO, the hashtags, the tags, everything on Manus Pro. So
Manus Pro.
Yeah. Write it down.
Yeah, write it down. SEO girl. Write it
down. And then Claude Code, of course, is what actually writes code. And I think, it would benefit a lot of people if they started working with Claude Code sooner rather than later. Because if you learn how to automate processes in your business using Claude Code, then, then you can get a lot more productive, a lot faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But of course, it's, or you don't have to do that at all. You can just hire me, and me and my team can do it for you. No problem.
Absolutely. Great team of people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But man, what is the last thing that we need to talk about here, Josh?
Well, one thing I want to bring up is that I'm fairly impressed by you. it's, we've known each other for quite a few years, but you getting engaged and not saying anything is kind of a big deal. So that's something we should talk about.
Getting engaged?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of kept that quiet.
Kept it quiet.
It was a great surprise.
It's a fantastic surprise.
So
well,
big congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I think for me, it was I wanted to have all the photos back, and we finally got them back. I think by the time that this episode gets aired, the photos will be online.
Yeah.
But man, it's just a huge blessing. I had just about given up on love, man, and this girl comes by and sweeps me off my feet. I always thought it was really cliche whenever people say, when you know, you know.
Yeah.
I hear that all the time, and I'm like, dude, what a load of BS is that?
Right.
Literally saying that about a year ago, and then here comes Emily, and when I knew.
You knew. Well, congratulations. She's a great person, great girl. So
absolutely.
We're wishing you guys a lot of health and happiness.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the last thing that we need to talk about? Maybe a 90-day strategy.
So strategies that we definitely need. We have so far we have like a 30-day strategy you and I put together.
Yeah.
And that's just getting the AI up, getting it initial development done, and getting the phone systems attached to it and all that stuff. Second step is going to be finding out how we can make that CRM with the AI work together for phone and text application, how we can implement them together and make sure they're cohesive. That I think is going to take us another 30 days.
Yeah.
So on the 90, I'm thinking that we have to find ways to make the AI system talk to the other technologies that we're using, and kind of be the go-to for bringing everything together. So coming from our intake technology, where we take all the documents and the loan application, all of that stuff, then going into the the information transferring from the CRM to that system, and then from that system going into our processing software. So we have a 3-step process that's going to take us quite a bit of time, I think. So I guess
then you didn't even hit on the loan matching system.
Oh, that's gonna be. I think that's gonna come after.
And then also the content generation.
We could call that about 120, then 150.
Yeah.
And then 180.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got quite a bit. That's a great roadmap.
Yeah.
So let's write it down. Let's write down our roadmap. Our 30-day.
You want to write this down?
Yeah. Just send it over.
Here, go ahead. You can write this down.
Yeah. So 0 to 30. Develop the CRM, right?
We're working on that now.
Yes. And then 30 to 60, I said make sure that integrate the AI.
Voice AI.
Yeah. Integrate voice AI. All right. And then day 60 to 90 is making the softwares collaborate.
Okay. Go high level talking to your what is it? Your mortgage softwares?
Go high.
Level.
Loansify we use.
Loansify. Okay.
It's great for taking applications. And then Encompass, which is what we're using now, which I want to change.
Okay.
But it's really good. And then so our 90 to 120. 90 to 120 is going to be
loan matching system.
No, we were gonna do something else before the loan matching system. Okay.
Roll back the tape.
Yeah, we'll roll it back. Loan matching system.
Yeah.
Okay.
Content generation.
Yeah, content. That was right.
Okay. We can flip them, no problem.
To 150 content gen. Okay. These are going to be our roadmap, our initial roadmap.
Yeah.
So that's really great because we're making some killer progress, right, on the CRM. So then once we integrate the voice AI to it, I think it's going to be a great test phase on how to develop these things together.
Right.
Yeah. And then, the go high level, Loansify and Encompass integration is going to be huge. And then, obviously the loan matching system is going to make...
it's going to save a lot of time.
It's going to save me a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to save a lot of time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it together.
Yep. Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
Josh, I hope that anyone that's, watching this podcast or on YouTube or listening to it online took some golden nuggets out of it, and hopefully starts investing their time and energy in learning AI and solving problems for businesses, because I think the next year is going to be the new gold rush.
Absolutely.
And it's the gold rush of AI. It's a gold rush of software, creating software for solving issues for businesses. So I think if people jump on board and start solving a lot of these problems, I think they're going to be okay in the new era of whatever.
There's a lot of
AI has.
I mean, there's so much happening. There's so much new technology coming out, and the thing is, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. We're mortgage brokers, right? We're very vulnerable to the technology advancements of AI. But that being said, right, you need to make yourself. It doesn't matter the industry. You need to know what's going on, how you can use it to continue to be successful, or to be more successful, or to phase out what you're doing. But you need to know what's going on, right? You have to be up to date with everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for us, developing these softwares and these systems and everything, and taking advantage of the AI and the different systems, so we can continue to develop these softwares that we need and the integrations that we need and all that stuff. And this coming from a guy who knows nothing about computers or technology, right? I barely know how to use my iPhone, but I know enough to say, hey, I know there's something that I don't understand. I know there's something I need, and this is how we're going to go get it.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, this partnership you and I have is a great place for us to start.
Absolutely. Well, I can't wait, man. I'm really looking forward to it. So, in closing, I would just say that I'm really excited about the future, and man, I think priorities. That's it, right? Let's prioritize what's important. Let's focus on that. Let's execute. Let's go out there and crush it, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right,
Josh. Thank you again for being here, man.
Thanks.
Before we end, the only last thing is if anyone wants to get in contact with you, maybe to talk about mortgages, or maybe I know you mentioned you wanted to get some new MLOs onto your business.
Yes.
If you're an MLO out there and you're looking for a productive, forward-facing mortgage broker that is incorporating AI into his business, how can people reach out to you?
Well, you guys can always reach out to me on my cell, 832-955-9255, or always our website, fnfloan.com.
Yeah.
We're First Nation Financial Corp. Again, been in business since 2004. We have a killer team of underwriters in our office and processors. The beauty about what we do is that we work nationally. Mm-hmm. So we're not looking at, we can only do California or we can only do Texas. We do loans nationwide, primarily for investors. The beauty about working with investors for us is that it's a constant repeat business. So we're kind of trying to push that agenda. The first-time home buyers, we do a lot of cash out refinance, residential, we do a lot of. However, the investors are where the money's at.
Yeah.
So give us a call anytime you want. I'm always available, right? And if I'm not available, shoot me a text.
Yeah.
You can send me a text past 8:00.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks again for being here, Josh. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, bro.